I dig what you just said about their format, is that they're not just teaching the physical part of the sex, they're teaching the intimate part of the sex. Are we not forgetting that this actual physical connection should be an intimate basis? Like, we're forgetting that. Yeah, absolutely. And any way that we can teach sex ed without having to roll out that old ass VCR, do you remember?
Yes.
Pulling the dust off of it, having the bird and the rabbit come together. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So this is amazing. No, I'm not surprised though, because I've heard too many stories where young girls are getting pregnant as early as 12. And I'm not surprised that boys are getting that pressure. Every song you listen to, especially from, let's say, a male rapper, it's gonna connotate some type of like hitting it, getting that, you know, all that lifestyle around sex. So I do think though, like there was a person I met and he's attractive, older gentleman, and I hear rumors that men think about sex every like 5 minutes or something, you know, astronomical. And I asked him, like, honestly, how often do you think about sex? How often, you know, are you physical? And he was like, you know what, honestly, I've gotten to a place in my life where just the sex doesn't mean anything. Like now having the connection is more worth something. So I don't think about it as much. And when I do, it's profound. And so when you can train your body to...
And your mind.
Enjoy it. And your mind to enjoy it because you have a connection with somebody. Yo, that's love, you know? Love making.
I feel bad for the peer pressure part.
Well, but I was curious because I was wondering what was the study for non-black males? So I looked it up, and it said, according to the JAMA Pediatrics Medical Journal, recent data revealed that white males and Hispanic males were statistically less significant to report having their first sexual intercourse before the age of 13 than black males. So that's the reason why you have this study. And then overall, it just seems as if, you know, maybe we're not getting the full report. Also, you have to understand, too, they said that lower income children tend to have sex earlier. And that could be because there's only one parent in the house or maybe because of the way the parent works. So, you know, you have a lot of latchkey kids. So I think it's very important to speak to your children about sex and talk to them about it. You know,
I'm
and who they're hanging with.
What would, like...
What you got on there about Asian males?
They didn't put y'all in here.
Wait, but I'm like thinking low income, like that was definitely me. And I'm thinking, what would be the reasons to have had sex earlier? Is it a lack of, well, I grew up in a really urban community, like we didn't have parks and stuff. Like it was the street and basketball, maybe in some basketball courts. So I think maybe people didn't have hobbies. And you end up staying home and you end up hanging out with friends and your parents aren't home because they're at work. I'm trying to think of how that could end up happening at a much younger age than other children.
Yeah, boredom. I was a latchkey. I was latchkey.
And your mom probably wasn't home.
My mom was never home because she was working. But what my mom did was she put me, we had a rec center. See, back then we had rec centers.
So we need more community centers for these children to have after school activities and let them find hobbies that they love so that they're not, you know, I'm not being funny, but you leave two kids alone in a room for a long period of time, somebody's going to get curious.
And I go back to parenting. To this day, you know, I was raised by Mama Mai and my dad, who are culturally, like, more traditional. They didn't talk about sex openly. I would have loved having that conversation, just so it didn't feel so taboo. And then sometimes with kids, things that are taboo or forbidden, then you get more curious. You don't know what's... And then before you know it, you're cleaning up the problem rather than learning about...
Yeah, I remember learning about sex in my health class, and it started kind of like in junior high, and then in 9th grade we really, you know, had the talk, the full class, and I just came home and I had the conversation with my mom. So don't just rely, parents, don't just rely on your teachers or the school to do it. You guys have to talk to your children as well.